computers stowed safely.
What, you love me more than Mummy?
Sorry?
Of course you do.
Check cupboard security.
I know all about it. Tell me again. Good girl. So, good morning from Otters Edge.
Good morning. Can't actually quite believe it. Short sleeve t-shirt on, sunglasses, shorts. The sun is shining. It's a heady 18, 19 degrees, so we're going to take it while we can and go for a walk.
Yeah, along the beach down to the local town, about 5 miles away.
Yeah.
And this is the campsite. It's a very nice campsite, this. And just a short walk out of the campsite and along the beach road, and you drop onto one of the most interesting places in, well, it's up there on the whole island really. We saw more wildlife, more interesting wildlife on Benbecula than any other island on the visit. Golden eagles, sea eagles, white-tailed eagles, seals, otters, just really a very interesting place. And it's surprising really, because although it's clearly beautiful, it's very flat in comparison to the North Uists, and certainly once you get to Harris. But don't miss it and don't drive straight through it. That's my advice. Spend some time to linger here. It's quite an interesting place. Good morning. This is the second full day in Benbecula, and we're still at Otters Edge campground. I think we're going to stay here for a few days actually, because I feel like we could just do with a few days just to chill out and relax. We can walk on the beach here every day with the dog. There's a pub fairly close by, and the nice people that own it. So I think we're going to stay here for a few days. So I probably won't film every day, film enough just to show you different aspects of the place and the things that are there. But we've also worked out we can do a little bit of biking while we're here. So I think we're going to spend a few days here and just chill out a bit, and then we'll push forward and go up towards Harris and Lewis. But yeah, like it here.
It's supposed to feel incredible.
Well, behind me is a seal colony, far enough away that I can photograph them with the 600mm lens without being any sort of disturbance or threat to them. So they're just sat quite comfortably basking out of the water, and keep having a little look at me across the way, but aren't unduly concerned. And they are interesting creatures. They're speckled chests, and this is their habitat, and it's quite an interesting place. And you probably see over there Helen is sat on the rock. So that was interesting. It was like a personal photo shoot with a seal. I need to give that seal a name. So I just paused the camera there to take a couple of stills of golden eagles that were flying on the far side of the bank. They were a little bit on the end of the camera range, but it was still a joy to see them. A pair. They dived down into the underground. So I don't know whether they've are feasting right now, but they've not come back up yet. So yesterday we saw the carcass of a really big goose, so I don't think they're frightened of anything. Yeah, and the locals suggest that that's what they'll do. They'll take a big goose. So yeah, basically, apparently, because the goose are stupid and stand there and let them, which is really strange. But given how aggressive geese can be, they certainly don't put up a fight with the golden eagle. Well, we use our bikes to get around. We don't tow a car, and occasionally we might hire one, but that gets more complicated with having a pet. There's lots of the hire companies, particularly on the islands, we're very much strictly no pets. So we use our bikes, and this particular day we'd heard there was a pop-up gin shop just up the road towards the town. So we set off to find this gin shop, which we told was a pop-up gin shop. When we arrived, it was a rather well-appointed Croft Inn cottage, which really doesn't surprise us at all, because the people on the islands are extremely resourceful. They've all got 3 or 4 different occupations. The person that owns this shop, it wouldn't surprise me to find he was also a part-time fireman, part-time road salting, road highways people, or working at the airport. They're extremely resourceful people and work very hard to maintain a life in a community in what can be, in winter time at least, quite an arduous climate. But the rest of the time it's quite nice, and in fact it has quite a temperate climate at certain times in the year. So all in all, it's a very impressive place and a very impressive people. We like the islanders very much. So, having bought the gin, we were back on our bikes and took a little bit of a loop and a little bit of a tour around, looking at the local town, which we think is pronounced Benbecula, and that in Gaelic means a town of monks, and it's due to the Christian brothers that landed in the 6th century, and there is still an old church there. We stopped to watch the planes taking off from Benbecula Airport, which has strong military connections on the island as well, before returning back to the campsite to sample the gin, which, in fairness, that's for another video, but shall we say it did very well in the rankings. And so we had 5 really, really good days at Otters Edge. It's a really nice campsite. Really nice people that run it, own it. They're developing it. It'll be better next year than to this year, but this year was still good. It had a really good island feel about it. And the people that own it, although not islanders, are certainly from caravan and motorhoming stock, and they've embraced the island as their home. They made us feel very welcome, helped out with information, and we'd recommend the site. We had a really good time there, and thanks to Dave and family who made it possible. But after this, in the next video, we move on to Harris for another adventure. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have liked it, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.